Come on in, come on in, come on in. It is the Real Housewives of Potomac recap. I can't believe it's only the second episode. Doesn't it feel like it might be the third or fourth? I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not in studio and we don't do the regular live show with callers and things like that. However, we do have a lot to unpack, including the newest housewife, Nneka. I know I'm probably mispronouncing that, but y'all know I mispronounce, and I'm sure you're mispronouncing, but we're learning. Nneka? Shout out to everyone that watches in Nigeria, or that is from Nigeria that watches. You will get me together, I'm sure. But we are introduced to the newest housewife, and then when I look at the cast photo for season 8 of The Real Housewives of Potomac, we got a lot of women. We've got a lot of women, but do we have a lot of story? Do we have a lot of real story? And I know a lot of us judged, well, I didn't. I said I need to watch it play out on the show, and I'm glad I said that. Because is Nneka really the bad guy here? At least based off what we see in this first episode, it's Ashley Darby up to her reindeer games, per usual. Guys, as always, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe because it is a subscribers only live chat. And don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to check out all of the other content that we're sharing on other platforms. For everything, head on over to TheKempire.com, and you can find our podcast, you can find our merch. Everything is available there. Let's get into a countdown, and then let's get into this recap of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 2.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Be sure to check out some of the things that you already missed this past week. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. All right, where do I begin? Let me look at my notes. All right, first, Ashley meets up with her mom. We haven't seen her mom in a while. Ashley, as you know, has moved out. She's still, I know she was on Watch What Happens Live sidebar. Anyone else cringe when she referred to Adriana from The Real Housewives of Miami on Watch What Happens Live as Chiquita Banana? Like, that is so ignorant. I was like, that was your point of reference, Ashley, for Adriana? All right. Anyways. So, Ashley, as you know, has moved out. She's still in the middle of a divorce. She's in no rush. She's already admitted that she's in no rush to divorce Michael because of she's not going to end up with half of all of his money. But we already knew that. Ashley's not that bright. So she's getting child support from him. He's on the mortgage. However, he's not on the deed. Our real estate experts, which one matters the most? I guess it's important to be your only name on the deed, without a doubt. But you're still tied to him financially. I guess she's happy about that because that helped get her this $2-point-something million home. And to be honest with you, the home is nice. But like I said before, very much like last week's episode, I said Robyn's home on the inside is gorgeous. On the outside, kind of like Robyn. I said that before. I just want to remind you. But I'm happy for Ashley. Look. So she's with her mom and they're catching up and they're talking about who she's inviting to the party. She does bring up Nneka, just sort of, this is our first introduction to this woman. She's like, oh, she's an attorney. She's fabulous. She's doing all this stuff. Okay. And she also says that Nneka knows Dr. Wendy Asefo, and they've met in passing and things like that. So Ashley's mom, of course, like everyone, is concerned about any sort of lines being crossed between Ashley and Michael Darby. She's worried about any sort of coochie craving that Ashley might get, but she's like, there's no sexual relationship with Michael right now. You know, yes, we went on this trip together, but it was strictly, co-parenting for the family. Do you guys believe that? I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that at all. Do I believe that she might be over Michael in that situation? In a way, but do I think that they are, or that Michael wouldn't be willing to drop back into bed with Ashley? Yes. I think conveniently for Ashley this season, it's a great storyline for her. He no longer has to be the central focus of their relationship. If he's caught out there dating someone else, flirting with someone else, sleeping with someone else, they have that understanding. We've always suspected that these two have always had that understanding. So it actually really works out for Ashley in a lot of ways. He's able to cheat in peace. She's able to have her own separate home with her boys, because I don't think she wants to have that sort of life on display anymore. And the Housewives of Potomac, they've really become very pre-produced. A lot of them are not sharing their real lives. All right? Sidebar, I did not get a chance to do a separate video or talk about Ashley being asked at BravoCon how she would feel if Monique Samuels would return, and she says she doesn't run scared from any B word. Then she says, I don't think Monique qualifies because, Monique just went through a divorce. But we also know Real Housewives, a lot of these housewives aren't married. A lot of these housewives were married, then got divorced on the show. And I think a lot of people also forget that Monique wasn't fired. I know a lot of people assumed that Monique was fired after the physical attack on Candace, but she wasn't. She confirmed that. Andy has confirmed that. Andy even wanted to bring Monique back for Ultimate Girls Trip. So she has a good relationship with the network. She decided that she didn't want to return. But I will say this, because this is important to say too. I think a lot of people hype Monique up unjustly. Because although Monique, all the qualifications, when we first met her, the qualifications because of what you guys expect of housewives. They have the money, they have the lifestyle, they have the husband, the children, the multiple homes. Yes, however, Monique for a few years was boring. For me. In a lot of ways, she to me, she didn't always bring it. Yes, there were pockets of moments that Monique brought it. However, Monique brought it in the end. And that was like, where was this Monique the last couple of years? Monique brought it in a way, I was like, I didn't know she had it in her. So I was kind of like, yes, bring Monique back. And yeah, because Monique came with the fire and the fever with that binder at that reunion. And she said, but the majority of what was said and done at that reunion was cut out. And I'm like, well, if the majority was cut out, Monique, you did a hell of a job for what they edited out. All right? No matter how you feel about Monique, because I know a lot of people, especially after Love and Marriage DC, have lots of feelings about Monique. But I could say Monique, when she was introduced, interesting. But then after years of watching her on the show, I was like, I was on the fence with her for a very long time. And then at the end, when she decides to not return, she got interesting. And I was like, damn. Anyways, I've digressed. So Ashley's mom is concerned about the whole situation with Michael. She also says that she also brings up the lawsuit, which I'm glad they're talking about, because Michael Darby is suing Candace, for like, I forgot how many millions of dollars. He's suing her for millions of dollars. Not millions, but you know what I mean. It's up there though. So he's suing her. And they bring it up. So, of course, Ashley's not going to invite, because they're shopping for her housewarming, they're not going to invite Candace to this because of the Michael situation. And, of course, of the hate-love relationship that Ashley and Candace have together. They talked a little bit about this during BravoCon, and then Ashley talked about it on Watch What Happens Live as well. I don't get their relationship. I always felt like Candace is always trying to be friends with Ashley, and I'm like, girl, why? Even Dr. Wendy Acefo in this episode, like, why are you trying to be friends with Ashley? She has shown you guys countless times she has no loyalty to you guys at all, specifically Candace and Wendy. She has no loyalty. She's grown a loyalty for Giselle and Robyn, because you remember in the early years, she had no loyalty to them either. But she's grown this loyalty to them, which is weird to me, because they were once to talk about her marriage as well. So she says that she knows nothing about this lawsuit. She only knows what we know. We see on the blogs, her and Michael do not talk about this lawsuit. Do you believe that? I don't believe that. I don't trust Ashley. Ashley is not just a pot stir. Ashley is, I was about to say demonic, but I don't mean that. But I was going to tell you what I was thinking. But no, I don't think she's demonic. But I do think that she's shady. Like, she's sneaky. She's slimy in a way. Like, you know, a lot of people love to give Giselle that title, and she is. But Ashley? Especially after this episode. All right. So she says she knows nothing about this lawsuit. She only knows what the blogs are saying. But she also understands where Michael's coming from. So she feels like the lawsuit is legitimate. We don't have any update on this lawsuit that I know of. I guess during the reunion we'll have somewhat of an update. Maybe. We shall see. Karen and Mia meet. And you probably saw the preview for this, where Karen, and Lord, the way I can relate to Karen in this particular moment, especially after this weekend, is so crazy to me. So Karen meets up with Mia, and Mia wants to hug her, but Karen's like this. Taurus energy. That is big Taurus energy. We do not like to be fake. And we don't like when phony people come up to us. Like, keep that same energy that you have on social media and what you be saying to other folks. Keep that same energy. The fakery of it all. So she's like, let's start with a handshake. So Mia doubles down and says that, you know, what she said, she had heard from someone else. It was a rumor. But Karen's just like, well, as married women, if it's a rumor, you should not be spreading this rumor. You should not be confronting me, coming on camera and saying, oh, my friend told me this about you. We all were kind of caught out of left field. We didn't expect Mia to bring this sort of story up about Karen at this finale party. I didn't think we all were sort of like, wait, oh, not Mia coming with her own story about Karen and Mr. Blue Eyes, or someone else. So they have their own conversation about it, but Mia reveals, because we talked about this last week, she's not drinking, but she's having wine. And her justification, she says, it's in the grocery store. It's nutritional. Not everything in the grocery store is nutritional, Mia. She's delusional, but you know, this is what makes her great for this show. She's like comedy relief. So she says that it's in the wine is in the grocery store, so it's nutritional. So is those sugary snacks and preservative crap. Doesn't make it nutritional. I'll make her live comfortably in her own world to make her believe that. She also reveals that she was mixing pills and alcohol last season. That's why she behaved the way that she did. Do you guys believe that? I don't believe that. I mean, it's very possible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna, deny it if that's what she wants to say that she was doing last season. Okay, because her behavior was irrational. And a lot of you said that she shouldn't even be back here. But is this her excuse for acting the way that she did? I guess we'll have to wait and see if she does this again while not drinking. Oh, drinking wine. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget our merch is now available. Some of you were already telling me, hitting me up like, oh, I got my merch. I ordered something. We have a lot of really great sweatshirts, t-shirts, notebooks, caps. Where's my cap? My cap's not nearby. All kinds of really great embroidered high quality merch available at houseofkempire.com, or head on over to TheKempire.com and click the shop button. All right, moving on. So Candace meets with her manager. Candace's storyline this season is about her career and about her music. Look, kudos to Candace for really using this platform to launch other businesses and this music career. Am I that interested in this scene? Not really. The most interesting part, though, is the shade that she throws at Drew Sidora. And I still don't understand where this is coming from. So she's performing in Chicago, and they're like, oh, maybe we should bring Drew in. She is from Chicago, for those that don't know that. She is from Chicago, so it makes sense. Bring Drew in. And she's also on the same platform that you're on. A bigger platform, because Real Housewives of Atlanta, no matter how you feel about Atlanta, it's definitely still bigger, especially in just not just the live viewers, but the platform itself. Anytime we do recaps or talk about Atlanta or stories related to Atlanta, that brings the girls to the yard. Potomac, a little bit, but not at the same level. Go ask some of the bloggers that write blogs on them. It's not the same. Okay? So does that translate into people coming out to your shows? Well, ask Candy. Look. Go ask Candy. Go ask Tiny. Remember we talked about during the Queens of R&B recaps. We're not going to rehash that. All right? So there's that. So she has a weird response. So her manager's like, so why don't you want, Drew Sidora? Well, Candace says, well, I feel like I'm at the point in my career where I don't need to bring someone, of a name to put people in the seats. I don't know. I also don't know if Drew Sidora is someone that brings people to the seats, because people know Drew Sidora for acting. They don't know her for music. But for Candace, if I can watch Tamar, who has a bigger name than Candace, let's be real, especially in music, especially in reality TV, especially in engagement. When I talk about how Atlanta gets engagement, Tamar gets engagement. No matter how, look, I can call a spade a spade. Yeah, Candace, look, I'm not saying that you can't put people in the seats, because obviously you can, but it depends on the city. I'll say that. And that's not shade, that's facts. There are a lot of people that have been established singers that still can't get people in the seats, and that's why they have openers. But if Tamar is, shout out, look, I know I did not cover the Krishan Tamar situation. Y'all know we don't talk about Krishan. Y'all like to make people that are not that talented famous. We're not doing that here. Y'all lucky I even said that much. But if Tamar is willing to bring out, in every city that she's in, she's giving all these people platforms, including you, Candace, an opportunity to perform. She doesn't need to do that. The shows were doing well without adding these people. So sometimes it's not just about getting people in the seats. It's about supporting another woman, a housewife that's trying to get into music. I just felt like Candace's response, at least the way that this show was edited, it seemed shady. It seemed weirdly shady. Like, what did Drew ever do to you, Candace? It was weird. Candace is getting it this week, especially with her thoughts on Monique not having the qualifications to be a housewife. And that lady, you saw what the lady said at the end of that shady question? She says, how long will you have the qualifications? And then Candace was like, what? What'd she say? Y'all heard what she said. Y'all are, the qualifications to be a housewife is at the end of the day, when it comes to these producers, is this person entertaining? They don't care if they're married or not. Let's be honest. All right, let's move on from Candace. So Candace, that was her scene. And scene. Robyn and Juan. So I have to give it to Robyn and Juan this season because they are addressing everything. I'm not going to give it to them. You know why? Because they are forced. They are being forced to give it up this season. Because Robyn and Juan know that if they don't, she wasn't going to return. If she wasn't going to talk about everything, because a lot of y'all already giving, oh my God, they're talking about everything. They had to, especially after that whole thing blew up with the woman from Canada, and then they tried to talk about it behind a paywall. Andy Cohen wasn't happy. Bravo executives weren't happy. Production wasn't happy. I mean, will Robyn ever tell you guys that? Probably not, but they weren't. So she knew this season, in order to secure her spot for this season, she had to talk about it all. But very much like Real Housewives of Potomac, they're controlling the narrative. They're controlling every scene. You already know Juan and Robyn have talked about this before they get on camera and what they're going to say. So they talk about Juan. Well, Robyn brings up the fact that she had this meeting with the ladies, that pre-produced scene where everybody was smirking. Not just Robyn. I know Robyn has a little bit of a tick where she's sort of like, but no, everybody seemed to be like, like you could tell it was very pre-produced. They already knew that what they were doing here. All right. So Juan, when he hears that they feel like Robyn, and maybe some of you feel like Robyn should be more angry at Juan. I don't care. I mean, look, very much like what Juan says. He says, I don't care. Well, I don't care either. At the end of the day, Robyn, if you love this man, if you don't care the way he treats you, if you are okay with him cheating, if you are okay with him having inappropriate relationships with other women, great for you. But what I'm saying, I'm no longer interested in watching this relationship on this show. Point blank, period. I'm not interested because I know it's pre-produced. I know it's fake. I know it's phony. I believe that this relationship is just for cameras. I believe that this relation, they still haven't seen the marriage license. I don't know if it's even a real marriage at this point. But I really do feel as if, especially now, because they talk about in this scene that he's lost his job and they talk about the lawsuit. We should point out that this lawsuit, where he was being accused of a lot of stuff that we can't talk about here on this channel, has been dismissed. However, I do recall them saying it's been I forgot the reasoning it was dismissed, but it could be refiled. It could be refiled. But I'm going to give Juan grace. It's been dismissed, and he is denying, and Robyn is denying, that he could ever not support one of his players. Because that's what is being said in this, that he was aware of this abuse that was happening to one of the players, and Juan did nothing, even though he was told, allegedly. He's denying this. He's also unemployed. So it's another thing that reminds me that, yeah, they need this job. They need this job. Embezzle is not doing as well as you guys think it is. It's doing well, but it's not their biggest check. And now Juan and his roommate, they need this check. They have this new home. Isn't Robyn the only name on the house? I can't recall. You guys will remind me in the chat. Isn't her name the only one on the mortgage? Or whose name is on the deed? That's what we need to know. But I don't care that much enough to go look it up. So y'all let me know. Get back to me. All right? Get back to me. But I feel like they have come together, especially this season, to move forward and say, okay, we're going to pretend like this relationship is real. I don't care. Very much like Juan doesn't care about Robyn. If she's okay with him cheating, I don't need her to get angry. I don't need her to be upset with Juan, because clearly she's okay with it. She's already gone through cheating, financial issues, all kinds of things with this man. So there's nothing that I can say or these women can say that will change her mind about this relationship. I still do not feel the love in this relationship. But like I said, the only reason why I even comment on their relationship or their love is not because I care. It's because it's on a reality show that we talk about. But I'll ask you guys in the audience and part of the replay crew, we haven't forgotten about you. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you would rate this week's episode from 1 to 10. And whether or not you believe that this is an actual loving relationship, or do you think that it's a relationship of convenience? But either way, even if it's a loving relationship, I'm no longer interested in their relationship. I get why she was brought back this season, because of everything that played out at the end of last season. They wanted to finish out this story. But I hope with this season, they finish off this story for Robyn. And then let's move on to someone else, because we already have a lot of housewives on this show. But that's not their intention. Their intention is, oh yes, we just saved Robyn's story for this season. Okay, girl. Look, okay, girl. That was the only scene that we got with Robyn this week, thankfully. You know, last week's episode was all about Robyn, but we will return to talking about all about Robyn for the rest of the season, I guess. So finally, we meet Nneka and her husband. I'll just call him Ike because I ain't trying to mess up these names, all right? She's an attorney. She's a practicing attorney. Some people hit me up, Nneka, that your bar wasn't in good standing. However, as someone that has worked for a law firm and has managed bar statuses and managed temporary attorneys, she might be registered in multiple states, and maybe she's using one of those other states as her bar situation. I don't know. I haven't looked it up myself. I'm not even interested. But I'm just going to put it out there. Because I know we talked about this with Ebony K. Williams. But Ebony K. Williams is not a practicing attorney. Nneka said that she was a practicing attorney in this episode. Okay. So, here's the thing. Being introduced to Nneka in this episode, in this particular scene, I was like, this is exactly what you guys wanted. I know you don't love the fact that she's going up against her Nigerian sister. However, she's exactly what you wanted. This is someone very much like the mold of Monique Samuels. Money, generational wealth. She has multiple homes. She said, I didn't know my generational wealth would get in the way of me, buying this home. Apparently, she has multiple homes around the country. She has multiple homes in Nigeria, allegedly. We don't know. Her husband is adorable. She's got a dog. She's trying to have a baby. She's building a big, beautiful home, and she lives in Potomac. She seems a little delusional. She seems a little snobbish. This is what you want from your housewives. So, I mean, I give it time before Giselle hates her. But I think Giselle will love her because she's created this rift between, well, she hasn't, but she'll be adding her sauce to the rift between Nneka and Dr. Wendy Asefo. We shall see. All right. So we get introduced to her. She's her husband's a doctor. We'd love to see a home renovation, so I'm all here for this home renovation, and I can't wait to see the ending of it. Hopefully by the end of the season we will see it. And I'm sure they probably have done, go inside their homes for BravoTV.com, so I'll have to go and look at that. But she is having issues getting pregnant. The homegirl says she starts her day with bubbles, so she drinks her I guess not vitamins, I forgot, her pregnancy pills or something like that. She drinks them with champagne. Is that healthy? She says she starts her day with bubbles and she ends her day with bubbles. All right. I mean, she's giving you what you guys want as a housewife. Delusional, aspirational, money, and she's educated, and her husband's educated. I'm here for it. And I feel like she was a little vindicated in this episode that she wasn't the one that started these rumors about the whole tribalism situation. Ashley. All right. Dr. Wendy Asefo. Oh, gosh, Dr. Wendy. Just when I want to root. I want to root for Candace. I want to root for Wendy. But, Lord, y'all really do not help. So, Dr. Wendy Asefo. PhD. She was looking great at BravoCon. Look, she was looking. The fashions are fashioning this season. The fashions are fashioning. Wendy. Look, Wendy. I sound like Whitney Houston during her Wendy Williams interview. Wendy. So, Wendy wants to start her own talk show. Another season, another thing that Dr. Wendy Asefo is going to get into. She says she is a multi-hyphenate. All right? She's a mom. She's a professor. She's this, she's that. At first, when she said she was going to start a talk show, she has her producer friend. They go to see a space, so it's very much like an apartment. And she wants to turn this into her studio for her talk show that she hopes to get picked up by a bigger network. Here's the thing. So originally when I saw this, I was like, here's Wendy again with a business that doesn't make sense. She's insecure. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's always switching turn. Oh, but hear me out. It makes more sense for her to do a talk show than start a restaurant with Peter Thomas or some of the other things that she had been doing. This makes more sense because we can't forget, first of all, she is a speaker. She does, profess, but she's also on multiple platforms talking about politics and things like that. So she is a talking head. And a lot of these talking heads sometimes get into the world of a talk show. Do I think that she'd be great at a talk show? I don't know. Like, we have to see it. And could she get better? I mean, based on the talk show hosts we have now, look, cue the sound effect. Wah, wah, wah. We don't have a lot of great talk shows on television right now. We don't. I can count on one hand, and I actually have room on that one hand. Look, I have room on that one hand. There's not a lot of really great talk shows. And I think it's smart of her. Don't wait to have some sort of opening for someone to give you that opportunity. How about create that opportunity? You have this national platform, and she's like, I can give it to Bravo. I can give it to CNN. I can do it. Create it yourself. Shoot it. Build an audience. And then create a bidding war. Oh my God, it's great. It's good. You're welcome, Dr. Wendy Osefo. Like, I can see it. I can see her being good at it. And I saw that Candace also she heard that they're trying to reboot The Real. The Real just went off the air. Why are we trying to reboot The Real? Why are we trying to reboot The Real? I didn't like The Real when it was on, but I know some of y'all did. It was on for 8 seasons, so somebody was watching. It wasn't me. Anyways, moving on. Karen. All right. Backtracking. Dr. Wendy did go through some different names of what she would call it. Should I call it Zen Wen? I forgot the other names in between, but she was like, maybe wine with Dr. Wendy. All right. Look, all right. So this next scene is actually one of my favorite scenes because, I love Pilates. I haven't been to Pilates in like 2 weeks. I can't wait to get back in and do some Pilates. So I love seeing them all get together and do some Pilates. Ashley's concerned because apparently Ashley got Demi and Diamond done, her breasts. Karen is prepping for her triple 20. And of course, Karen is so dramatic. She's like, so guys, I'm preparing for my triple 20. And I went into the doctor, and the music is making you think like, oh my gosh, she's going to tell us something really sad and terrible. Like, oh my gosh, she's been diagnosed with something. She's like, well, apparently, and it's not even a blockage. She has a 5% calcium deposit. But with diet and exercise, she could fix it. So everyone's just like, really? What is going on here? It's interesting because Karen is able to shoot with everyone. Because clearly the group is divided. So Wendy and Candace are not at this group event. But Karen is able to shoot with them, but then she's also able to shoot with this group. So she's like the bridge, trying to bridge this group together. All right? So still, Karen is not trying to shake. She's not trying to hug Mia. And Mia is not here for. She's just like, I don't get why. And like, I don't get why she can't, give me a hug. Whatever. I mean, I completely understand, Karen. I completely understand. We got to work our way up to a hug, Karen says. All right? So, in speaking about how Karen did not like how Mia was spreading this rumor, Giselle brings up a good, valid point. And she's like, well, then I need you to apologize to Robyn because you also brought up a rumor about her marriage and about this woman that looks like you. So Karen's just like, well, I don't know about the international women. I don't even know about the domestic women. I mean, it is a valid point. Karen was talking about a rumor. Mia was talking about a rumor. All right. I mean, there's a lot more smoke in regards to the Juan rumor, but okay. And more legitimacy. All right. But Giselle wants Karen to apologize to Robyn. And Karen says, you know what? I think Robyn needs to apologize to me, but I also think I need to apologize to Robyn. This is also the scene where we find out Ashley's name is on the deed, where Michael's name is not on the deed. It's on the mortgage. All right? She's still not divorced. All right? The ladies are still not feeling Candace, specifically Giselle. She's not feeling Candace. Ashley is neither here or there with Candace, but she's not going to invite her to her housewarming. All right. the group, it's like, it's weird. It's a weird dynamic on this cast. Because I'm trying to think of the other casts in the other cities where the groups are divided like this. I'm like, I don't know. Especially because it feels like these two women are the only ones that are sort of ostracized from the group. Dr. Wendy Asefo and Candace. Like, how does that work? Luckily, Karen is able to get along with both groups, but it's like, it's so strange. It's so strange. And the fact that Nneka comes in and she's already sort of like chosen aside. If it was me, because I love to twerk on the fence, I would be like, I'm going to be friends with them too. I'm going to, get in everywhere and try and make this work on both sides. Because there really is sort of like this imbalance, which I don't love about Potomac. All right. So Uncle Lump comes to Ashley's housewarming that she has. So, we always love to see Uncle Lump. Uncle Lump is still concerned about Ashley's relationship with Michael Darby. Rightfully so. We all are. And I'm sure Uncle Lump knows a lot more based off what he sees and hears from Ashley in this relationship. Because I don't believe Ashley's giving us 100% on this relationship. Karen and Charisse are dressing alike. I hate when they say that Karen and Charisse are dressing alike, because I was like, let me see the front of Charisse's outfit. Just because it's a pants or a short pants suit something situation, they are not dressed alike. And to be honest with you, sorry, Charisse, Karen looked better. I'm just saying, Karen looked better to me in this outfit. All right? Anyways, and these confessionals, Lord, Charisse. Oof. This confessional that she has, I'm like, do y'all not look in the mirror before y'all do this? I'm like, this look a little frumpy. Anyways. So Wendy arrives and she goes to hug Ashley and she's like, Ashley, your home looks so great. Like, she gives Ashley a lot of really great flowers in their later conversation. And I was like, everyone really is trying with Ashley, specifically Dr. Wendy Asefo and Candace. They're really trying with Ashley. I don't know why. So she goes to hug Karen, and then Giselle's standing there, and Giselle's just like, it's so weird. Like, move on. Like, move on. If you want to make this a fun, interesting show, like, just move on. I'm just trying to remember, like, their issues. And I'm just like, you can't be mad at Dr. Wendy Asefo for being upset at you for trying to say things about her marriage. She's still butthurt at what she's a lot more. Giselle's a lot more sensitive than you guys give her credit. I remember what happened at BravoCon. That joke that Andy made about her last year was last year BravoCon. She did not like that, and she didn't like the joke that he made about Robyn's marriage at BravoCon. Robyn had no problem with it, but Giselle had a problem with it, and Andy apparently agreed that he wouldn't tell the joke, but he did anyway. So Giselle's a lot more sensitive than she lets on. She tries to make it seem like she's this hard shell. No, she's a lot more sensitive. So I think when Dr. Wendy Asefo really went there with her, she was like, she's never been the same. She's never been the same. Anyways, so there apparently also is an issue with Mia, so because Wendy doesn't hug Mia. All right. Then Deborah. So Wendy is like, I thought this was a housewarming, not a kids' party, because it looks like the entertainment has arrived. I think next season we're not going to see Deborah at all, especially because of that incident that happened. Oh, I forgot, we do get a new friend of. I don't know if she's officially a friend of. I don't think they've announced her as an official friend of. But there really is this imbalance. Like, we have all of these women on one side. Charisse is a friend of to this group. And then we have just Wendy and Candace on this side. And then we're going to and maybe that's why they brought in this friend of or guest of the show. I thought she was supposed to be official. But I think she did not get an official photo because the incident. They did the photos right after that brawl that happened at that event. So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. So Wendy makes that comment about Deborah arriving, which was interesting. My thing is, though, why did Ashley give Dr. Wendy a heads up like this woman's going to be there after she said what she said about my husband, Happy Eddie? who has turned this into a whole business and all kinds of merch. I wish I had gotten a Happy Eddie t-shirt. I completely forgot. I was going to get a candle and a t-shirt and completely forgot. I remembered as I was walking down the strip back to my hotel. I was like, I am not going back. But I was like, because I didn't want to carry it the entire BravoCon, so I was going to go at the end of BravoCon to get a candle and a t-shirt. But anyways, I digress. Good for them. Look, good for them. Anyways, so Wendy has this conversation with Ashley. She's giving Ashley a lot. She's like, to see where you've come and what you've done. Like, because she's very well spoken, Dr. Wendy Acefo. And what she says to Ashley, I was like, oh, that's really nice of her to say that. Only for Ashley to be so messy. But she's also concerned. Wendy's concerned. She's like, I want to go, be friends with you. I want to have a relationship with you. I've invited you to things. I just don't feel like it's being, reciprocated. And Ashley then says, well, yeah, I do want to try. And then she brings up Nneka. And Ashley being messy, she was like, well, if you want me to be transparent, so I'm going to bring up all the things that were said at this meeting that I had with Nneka. So Nneka apparently tries to downplay Dr. Wendy Acefo's PhD. She's like, oh, is she a medical doctor? It was shady what she was saying in regards to it. Regardless, if it's a doctor or a doctor of philosophy, those are all hard degrees to get. And Dr. Wendy Acefo is correct. A small portion of our society even gets one. And you got to do a whole situation in order to get it. All right? A dissertation, you got to fight for your dissertation in order for you to pass. Like, it's not easy. All right? But she probably knows a lot about Dr. Wendy, because I believe Dr. Wendy did try to go to law school, but it was hard. So she ended up, instead of doing that, because it's Nigerian culture, they got to do something. You got to be a doctor or a lawyer. So she decided to do the philosophy. Still hard. But the lawyer part did not work out for Dr. Wendy Acefo. But it seems that, like, Nneka is sort of like, and I'm just like, you don't even know this person. To be shady, it's like, it's weird. It's giving weird. However, when they start talking about the Osu and the tribalism situation, it wasn't Nneka that was the one making it seem like she was, causing trouble and talking negative about Dr. Wendy Acefo. It was Ashley who's the one who's instigating this. And the producers had to call her out and says, well, you were the one who insinuated this. And she was like, oh, it must have been the alcohol. Ashley, you've been messy. You've always been messy. It wasn't the alcohol. It was just you being messy. But here's the problem with this particular situation. You have now caused a toxic situation between these two women that don't even know each other. And it's such a sensitive topic for you to do something like this. Nneka is not innocent because, as you saw with the preview, she starts talking about Wendy's mom having a shrine and doing all this other stuff. But I do find it troubling that we are still talking, because we've talked about it. And I'm not saying that we can't talk about what was in the blogs, a couple of years ago. But I'm feeling like, producers, what are you doing? It feels intentional. It feels like you guys have dug this up, because I already know. I have sources everywhere. When a producer doesn't want you to focus on something in a particular season, they will tell you. They could easily said to Ashley and Nneka, yeah, we're not going to do that this season. That's old news. We're not going to rehash the tribalism and all that stuff. But because in our culture here in America, we don't understand, because we're not familiar, but because our audience, it's international. We've talked about this when we talk about other shows like Young, Famous, and African. We talked about this when we've talked about the tribalism that exists. They could have easily said to Nneka and to Ashley, we're not going to go there. Let's figure something else out. We're not going to go there. But they didn't. They didn't put a kibosh on this old rumor that Wendy has denied before. There was that rumor out there. So Ashley brings this up, so they have this conversation. And Dr. Wendy Acefo says, well, you remember the party that we threw for our daughter? If we were Osu, none of those people would have been there. We would have been shamed. people would have not come. And she's been consistent with that. That's not the reason. I mean, we still have never gotten to the root of the family issues between Dr. Wendy Acefo's family and her husband's family. That's always sort of been unclear. But, people speculated that it had to do with the Osu situation. But she was like, well, no, if we were Osu, none of those people would have come to our party. Clear cut answer. I don't know if that's true. You guys will let me know in the comment section or the live chat. But at least this week, Nneka is not the one that's really the root of this drama. The root is messy Ashley Darby. Per usual. Guys, if you're just joining us, have you liked the video yet? Have you shared the video? Have you subscribed? Have you double checked to make sure that you're still subscribed? Shout out to everyone watching in the bushes. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to the members of the channel, those of you that I got to meet here in Los Angeles that are longtime watchers of the channel. Always so great catching up with you guys. I hope the next time I come to Los Angeles, it's for a show, so all of you can come. And shout out to those of you that wanted to come but couldn't. I understand it was very last minute, but we appreciate those of you that did come. All right. Shout out to our moderators, aka our King's Guards, for holding us down in the live chat. We appreciate them. Shout out to our channel members. To become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. There are all kinds of really cool perks and surprise perks that come with being a member of the channel. So become one today. And for more information on everything Kempire, including our P.O. Box, our merch, everything's available in the description of this video. And yes, I will be doing a recap of Married to Medicine, but as I said before, traveling, sometimes, look, I gotta also enjoy the places where I'm at. So I will be posting a recap of Married to Medicine soon. All right. Thank you all for being here. Let's get out of here, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, y'all.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse.